These are continued from page 5. So for number 17, we have lots of grouping symbols and exponents. So what you first need to see is this cubed, third power, is on the outside of parentheses, but here these two are on the inside of parentheses. So we can do 8 minus 5 is 3, and then 3 to the third power is 27. So if you can do a couple of steps at once, just like that, instead of having to write down every single step. Then we bring down the subtraction sign. 5 squared is 25. 4 to the third power, or 4 times 4 times 4, is 64. So we have the absolute value of 25 minus 64, which is negative 39, and then divided by 3. So 27 minus the absolute value of negative 39 is positive 39, divided by 3. We need to do this division. 27 minus 13 would be a final answer of 14. For 18, we need to start on the inside of the absolute value. So negative 7 squared, here's where you have to be careful. Negative 7 squared really means negative 1 times 7 squared. So negative 49. Now, if you would have had negative 7 in parentheses squared, that means negative 7 times negative 7, which is positive 49. So it's very important to see the difference as to where the exponent is. So I'm going to rewrite the absolute value. This is negative 49, like I just showed, plus 3 squared is 9 times 4. Plus, I can do 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 times 5 is 45. So I can do all of that because it's separated from the absolute value bars. So here I need to do 9 times 4. So I have the absolute value of negative 9 plus 36. And then the plus 45 again is on the outside. So negative 49 plus 36 is negative 13, but we're still in the absolute value bars. Plus 45. So now I can finally do the absolute value of negative 13 is 13, plus 45 gives me 58 for my answer. Number 19, we have again what I called a big fraction. So you need to do the numerator, the top, and the denominator, the bottom separately. So right now, 5 squared is 25 minus 3 to the fourth power, which is 81. So I'm going to do top and bottom all at the same time. Again, some people prefer to do all of the top and then all of the bottom. That's up to you. 2 to the third is 8 minus 5, which is 3, times 6 squared is 36. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So 25 minus 81 is negative 56. 3 times 4 is 12. So if you divide negative 56 by 12, you're going to get a decimal. We always need to leave our answers as simplified fractions. So you need to find a number that goes into both 56 and 12. That would be 4. So you need to divide by 4 and divide by 4. 56 divided by 4 is 14. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So negative 14 over 3. This is what I would prefer. You could also leave it as a mixed number. So 3 goes into 14 4 times with 2 left over. So negative 4 2/3. I do not want decimals. Number 20. Notice this negative on the outside. That means like negative 1 times the absolute value of negative 9 minus 10. So I'm just going to leave it out there. Negative 9 minus 10 is negative 19, plus 12 squared is 144 divided by 6 times 3. Again, you can't do 6 times 3 because you have this division first. So the absolute value of negative 19 is positive 19. But then we bring this negative down. So this whole thing simplifies down to negative 19. Plus, I can do 144 divided by 6, which is 24 times 3. So now I need to do the 24 times 3, which is 72. So negative 19 plus 72. So my final answer is 53. Number 21. We can do this because it's on the outside. So 20 squared is 400 divided by, now we have some fancy brackets. You don't need to worry about writing the fancy brackets if you don't want to. First, we need to do the 5 minus 9 is negative 4. So I'm going to rewrite this whole thing so you can see what that would look like. Again, very important to realize this means negative 4 times negative 4, which is positive 16. If you type it in without the parentheses in your calculator, you are going to get the wrong answer. So 400 divided by 3 times 16 plus 2. Again, these are still in brackets, or you can just change them to parentheses. So then we need to do 16 times 3, which is 48. Plus 2, so 400 divided by 50 is what I end up with, for a total of 8. Again, it's really important to notice whether your negative numbers are inside the parentheses. So if you type in negative 4 squared, you're going to get negative 16. If you do negative 4 in parentheses squared like you were supposed to, you would get positive 16. So you need to make sure you know the difference if you are using your calculator. All right, 22, pay really close attention. The top are brackets, but the bottom are your absolute values. So I have 12 bracket 30 minus 9 plus 4 squared. So 4 squared is 16. 9 plus 16 is 25. All over, absolute value of 10 is 10, absolute value of 6 is 6, and it's a subtraction between the two. So we would have 12 times 5 over 4. 12 times 5 is 60, divided by 4 gives us 15. (23). We can do the 84 divided by 12 right away, and that's 7, plus 7 squared is 49. So you can do 5 minus 49 and get negative 44. So if you want to write it like that, you can. I would prefer just a subtraction sign, so that's going to be up to you. So I kind of wait to see if it's going to be a positive or a negative number. So I would have waited and done 7 minus 44 and gone from there. Okay, either way is fine. Minus, we can do 72 divided by 6, which gives us 12 times 2. We have to do the 12 times 2. So 7, again, I'm going to put minus 44 minus 12 times 2, which is 24. Once it's all down to addition and subtraction, you can just go straight across, and we end up with negative 61. And our last one, here we need to start with 8 minus 11, which is negative 3. So I am going to write this one out. Negative 3, but there's also a negative on the outside, cubed. Minus 3 times the absolute value of negative 14 is positive 14. If you want to put parentheses, that's fine. All over 2 to the 4th is 16 minus 7. Again, if you just want to cross it out and write that, and do the subtraction right away, that's fine. If you want to put the negative parentheses -3 to the third power in your calculator, you can do that all at once. This would be -3 times -3 times -3. So this part right here is -27. But then you have two negatives, so that makes it +27. Minus 42 all over 9. So this ends up as -15 over 9. Again, it needs to be a simplified fraction. So 3 goes into both of these. So divide them both by 3. -5/3. Or you could do -1 2/3 if you would like to do a mixed number. I like improper fractions better, but it is up to you, whichever you would rather do.